There's Gav all pumped up. So this was our 5-day backpacking trip through Yosemite. So we got in, what was that, right after dinner. Got our permit at the self-registration kiosk. And we hiked all through the night in the dark, which was pretty cool. The stars were amazing.
Yeah, we got there like 11.
11, and we set up at Little Yosemite Valley here.
And here we got to see our first Yosemite sunrise, and it did not disappoint at all. One of the best sunrises we got to see throughout the trip, and fortunately we didn't get to the point we wanted to for sunrise, but this served as a great vantage point. As you can see from the photos and the videos, it was absolutely spectacular.
Yeah, so getting up Half Dome, we had prepped for this, brought some rock climbing equipment because the cables are down for the season. So clipped ourselves in. Gav got a little nervous. It was pretty windy.
Very windy.
Yeah,
More than pretty windy. Very windy, yeah.
And the wind actually died down when he decided to turn back. He waited for us. We did one at a time, and then me and Sam went up there together. But the wind did die down when we got to the top, and we literally had the entire thing to ourselves, which... Seeing other people's footage from Yosemite seems like a rarity, so that was a pretty special moment. We were just looking at each other on either side of the peak there, taking different videos and shots, but pretty incredible.
Yeah, it felt like you were on top of the world all by yourself. It was, yeah, magnificent.
So some people do climb this without any equipment, but we opted to bring a climbing harness and some lanyards with hooks, 2 carabiner system, but you can also do a Prusik knot. I believe it's pronounced, hopefully that's how it's pronounced.
That's
but
good enough.
Yeah, close enough. Yeah, better safe than sorry, we thought. It wasn't that hard to bring that gear with us. So after Half Dome, we decided just to bag Cloud's Rest in the same day. So, and it made for a long day, 16 and a half miles. But partway up, we got to this view of Half Dome. One of my favorite views, honestly, of the entire trip. And there's a picture of Gavin coming up. Yeah, right there. That is just unbelievable.
That's one of my favorite pictures.
Yeah, that's a special sight. Yeah, and just like Half Dome, getting up the Clouds of Rest, we literally had the entire summit to ourselves, what, for 45 minutes to an hour? Yeah. Yeah, I'd say my only small regret is not staying up there for sunset. As you can see, just in the pictures here and the colors you see, the sunset was unbelievable. But we also got a really nice sunrise the following morning on the walkout as well, and just all the pinks and everything that came out.
Yeah, that was one of my favorites.
Yeah, look at that. Look at that camping spot. Look at there's Sam there. Look at that. That is unbelievable. Everybody thought I photoshopped that picture. That was how pink it was.
Yeah, it's like you were wearing a pink lens on your glasses. It was beautiful, yeah.
And I would say my second regret was not swimming at Vernal Falls. We should have did it.
That was very cold water, but yeah, in hindsight, we definitely should have just jumped in, but.
So I'll see if these guys agree. I think the trek up Yosemite Falls Trail after doing all of that was the hardest part.
Very difficult. Yes.
Yeah. You'll see. We were, look at Gav struggling there on the left side.
Overall, he was a champ, though.
Yeah,
but,
he was.
Yeah, Stefan helped him with his pack part of the way up, but the people coming down were very intimidated by Stefan. No shirt on, carrying 2 packs up, and he was, making no attempt to get out of anyone's way. Just he was focused on getting to the top, and that seemed to never come. But
so we ended up getting up in the dark, but we weren't planning on. It took us much longer than we thought. We had to go off trail to get water because the stream that we thought would be flowing wasn't flowing. So that set us back a little bit. But about a quarter mile from our campsite, Gab, you want to tell them what happened? What did we see?
Oh, bear.
Saw a bear.
saw a bear.
Yeah. So we heard a rustling, turned our headlamp, saw some big yellow eyes, and there was a bear. But we made some noise, scared it away, and we got set up on the edge of Eagle Peak. I saw this random blog post of someone who had camped up there, and I was like, man, that's where we gotta camp at. So we couldn't see anything. That's what was crazy, is that we set up in the dark, pitch black, couldn't even see what we were looking at, and then this is what you wake up to.
Yeah, one of the really cool things about it is that you get up in there in the dark and you have an idea of what you think it's going to look like in the morning, and then when we wake up and you wake up to the sunrise and you wake up on the edge of the cliff that you sort of knew was there, but you don't really know until you actually can see it in the morning light. And it's just a breathtaking view.
Yeah, so once we packed up our gear, we walked a little spur trail back to El Capitan trail and left our big packs and made our way to El Cap. And that was just such a cool experience getting to see that, especially after seeing the documentary Free Solo too, seeing getting a peek over the edge and trying to fathom what that would be like climbing up that without a rope. But yeah, again, solitude, right? We had it to ourselves again.
Yeah, I think we saw one other person on the whole trail.
Yeah. All right, and our 5th day, we weren't able to stay at Cathedral Lakes as that required some shuttling because Tioga Road closes at night. You're not really supposed to camp or park off that road at night. So we got to Cathedral Lakes, but we took the Medlicott Dome approach, which is a climber's approach up. And if you're doing this, I would highly recommend going that way. It shaves off at least 3 or 4 miles or something crazy. You get up there, I think, to the first lake in like a mile or so.
The climber's approach is not necessarily the proper name of that, right? And we did not have to climb much in order to do that. So
no, wasn't bad at all, I thought. What'd you think, Gav?
That was one of my favorite days.
Yeah. What'd you like about it?
Like the views. I also like smacking ice on the water.
So there was ice at the lakes when we first got up, and you'll see why that's significant later in the video. But yeah, we decided to swim on the way back after it thawed. So that was our cold water plunge, made up for not swimming at Vernal Falls. Now the other thing that made this hike pretty cool is that we decided to bushwhack up what was called Echo Ridge. Was not part of the original plan. And as you can see, the views up there were just unbelievable. You can see the whole way to Cloud's Rest. I thought, to me, that was one of the most special views of the trip. Partly because I had no expectations of what it would be like, because I had not planned for it. And also just the 360 at the top, you know, seeing Cathedral Peak and Echo Ridge and the Echo Peak and all of the other lakes and domes that you can see through there was just an awesome experience. All right, there's me and Sam checking the water temperature. Probably wasn't a good idea, but we did it anyway.
Yosemite is one of the most beautiful national parks in our country. I'm so glad I got to come and see it.
And I think Sam summed it up perfectly.
Pretty nice.